Welcome to Monday, August 1st, 2022, Your Day Weather Podcast, brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Cowboy State Daily has more original Wyoming news content than any other news organization in the state. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com. Well, folks, we are into the dog days of summer. We'll talk about a little bit where that expression comes from. But yeah, this is just a good way to describe the next couple of weeks. It's just going to be very warm to hot at times, kind of muggy at times, and occasionally we're going to have some thunderstorms. Monsoon moisture is going to come and go for the northern Rockies, but I tell you, for Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, back into the Great Basin, even into the deserts of California and the Sierra Nevada of California, that monsoon moisture is going to be there all week. But for basically Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas, western Nebraska, the monsoon's going to kind of be a touch and go situation. We have hot temperatures again, and some of you, especially in eastern Wyoming and western Nebraska yesterday, had a lot of smoke and haze. We'll talk about where that's coming from. Now, there's a very weak cool front coming in Tuesday and Wednesday, a slight drop in temperature, and a better chance of thunderstorms. Now, subtropical moisture, the monsoon, is going to be around at least through the first half of August, and I think there will be surges of this monsoon that could end up being some pretty good potential for rain in some areas that need it. It's just going to be kind of off and on, not a continuous chance, but when those chances of deeper moisture come in, that rain potential will go up quite a bit in some areas. Now, where does the dog days of summer, where does that expression come from? It's actually very, very old. It all has to do with the star Sirius, which is also referred to as the dog star. And technically speaking, the dog days of summer actually start in early July, go through the middle of August, but really the late July, early August period of time is when you can refer to the dog days of summer. It goes all the way back to the Romans, but it even goes further back than that, to the times of Egypt, where they aligned the appearance of the dog star Sirius. And notice that when the Sirius star would show up in the sky near the sun at the end of July, that always marked a really hot time. As you take a look at the water vapor, look at all the water vapor across the western United States out there into the Pacific. Subtropical moisture is around. Now, it's at different levels. This is for the middle levels. The deepest monsoonal moisture is still down here in these areas right here over the next couple of days. But as I mentioned at the beginning, it's going to kind of come and go. Now, smoke and haze has returned. New wildfire activity across the Pacific Northwest, the Intermountain West, but also some of you, especially in Cheyenne, Wheatland, Torrington, Scotts Bluff, down into the Front Range of Colorado, noticed a lot of smoke yesterday. That's actually from a fire that started due to lightning strikes southwest of Scotts Bluff in the Wildcat Hills area, southwest of Scotts Bluff, and some very rough terrain, bad fire situation there. Hopefully the winds will be light again today to help out with the firefighting activity. But a lot of the smoke that was around yesterday actually came from western Nebraska. But you can see on the smoke map here, fire activity's picked up a bit in the northwestern United States. Here's today's 500 millibar chart. The high over the Four Corners area elongated all the way over to the southeastern United States. This little system right here will bring cooler weather to the Pacific Northwest and send a cool front across the northern Plain States and Rockies late tomorrow and into Wednesday, and there it is. Now, it doesn't look like much, does it? But if you look, you'll notice the high gets suppressed. See the jet stream dropping a little bit more? That little suppression will send a cool front through the region during the day tomorrow into Wednesday. So that's going to make tomorrow a better chance of showers and thunderstorms in some areas and make Tuesday and Wednesday not a lot, but slightly cooler. But behind the front for Wednesday and Thursday, the air will be a little bit drier. Now, this is by Thursday. High pressure becomes reestablished over southeastern Colorado, Pacific Northwest, British Columbia. Low pressure continues over here. But here we go again. The clockwise flow around that high later in the week starts to open up the door to the subtropics. So here we go. This is the precipitable water forecast for today. You can see the purple and the blues back there into the Great Basin in the Pacific Northwest. They're going to get some thunderstorm activity in those areas. So thunderstorms are going to be in the white and green and blue areas in the Rockies. Notice that patch of dry air over northern Wyoming and southeastern areas of Montana. Now, this is by tomorrow. This boundary right here is basically the cool front and the drier air behind it and the more moist air coming in ahead of the front. So tomorrow is going to be a fairly active day of shower and thunderstorm activity across parts of Wyoming, Utah, back into southern Idaho, back into the Great Basin, and again into Colorado and the southwestern United States. So this is Thursday's subtropical moisture. Look at by Friday. By Friday and into the weekend, we have a concentration. This is what will be somewhat concerning when we talk about flash flooding, is a concentration of that subtropical moisture in a tighter area is what you have to really watch out for when you get into these thunderstorms in the afternoon producing heavy rain. Now we have another frontal boundary and some much drier air across Montana and the Pacific Northwest. So there's a big contrast there between dry and moist. This is by Saturday afternoon. Again, see that concentration right there? You're going to get heavy rain producing thunderstorms in this situation, especially in those blue areas. So really it's later in the week and over the weekend where we see the best chances for thunderstorms, and we're going to throw tomorrow into that as well. This is the precipitation forecast through Sunday. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Remember, weather computer models are tools. They're not reality. But this shows us where the likelihood of the shower and thunderstorm activity is going to be, and the yellows and the oranges and those red and blue colors show where the concentration of thunderstorms might be a little bit more active, but you shouldn't take this on face value. But what it does show is a more active pattern. Now, if we were to go out all the way to the weekend of the 13th and 14th of August, the middle part of the month, this is a recipe for more subtropical moisture. The high moves into the Central Plains again. The monsoon moisture comes in. You see this right here in South Texas. Not saying this is going to happen, but the modeling is seeing tropical storm and hurricane activity as a potential towards the middle to the end of August. So what this is showing is for South Texas, a tropical storm or a hurricane, and this moisture having the ability to get caught up in the high and come around later. So this is something towards the middle of August we're going to be keeping an eye on. So far, the tropical season hasn't happened. There has been barely any tropical storm or hurricane activity. We do think that's going to change rather dramatically by the middle to the end of August, and we're seeing that here. But this type of pattern right here can bring higher humidity air into the western United States if this transpires. Again, something that we're going to keep an eye on. And you can see that right here. You can see the higher humidity air with the tropical storm or hurricane that may or may not form there and come this way and team up with the already deeper subtropical moisture that's coming on in. The bottom line is, do not give up hope on rain yet. In some areas, especially in central and western northern Wyoming, eastern Idaho, and parts of Utah and parts of Montana that could really use some rain, I think August may be better than July for some of you in those areas. If you were to look at the 2-week forecast, you can see, look at all of that potential rainfall in Colorado. That's been a great monsoon in Colorado so far this year. Look at Arizona, western New Mexico, and Utah. Look at even into central and southern areas of California. I would not be surprised if this happens. I think there's a potential and more rain for Las Vegas maybe. So August could end up being a very interesting month, especially the first 2 weeks of the month. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll see you